Welcome to Everyday Economics, the podcast that helps you learn about the economic world happening around you every day. I'm your host, Krug, president of the 501c3 nonprofit, nonpartisan Franklin News Foundation. Everyday Economics is a production of the America's Talking Network. You can listen to all of our podcasts at americastalking.com. To support podcasts such as this one, please make your tax-deductible charitable contribution by clicking the link in the show description. We are recording this episode on Thursday, August 17th. And joining me, as always, is my friend and colleague, Dr. Orphe Divounguy. He's a PhD economist. Dr. O, what's brewing?
I'm doing well, man. How you doing?
I'm great. I was feeling like, in the pre-show, just kind of talking about what's going on, that you might be dragging today. I'm on East Coast time. I'm out in Philadelphia, and you're on West Coast time. You're out in beautiful suburban Seattle. A lot of distance and a lot of difference in time. So hopefully we'll be able to make this work.
Look, we always make it work. And the beautiful thing about it is, let me tell you what gets me up. What gets me going is the fact that we have all these listeners that are waiting for us, right, to get up in the morning and make this podcast magic happen, right?
It is inspiring. I think it's a great time to pause and to thank the loyal listeners that we have. You and I started this project. We talked about it for a couple of years, and then we said, hey, why don't we do this? And then we sort of built this format where we're really just trying to take complex things in economics, primarily U.S. economics, and make them understandable by simplifying them. And I think I have to give you all the credit in the world that you do a great job of making the complex simple. And I'm always happy to be with you. So thanks for what you do. And I'm glad that you're getting up at, I don't know what time it is out there, 6:59 a.m. right now?
6:59 right now. That's right.
Yeah. So, hey, we got a couple things that we want to talk about today. I want to talk about retail sales and the relationship between retail sales, inflation, and really, that part of the economy. So, retail sales report for July just came out on Tuesday, a couple days ago, and it's showing that even with seasonally adjusted numbers, that retail sales increased by 0.7%.
Yeah.
And so when you and I look at this number, I look at this as like, well, okay, well, maybe people have more money, or hey, maybe prices have come down. When you and I talk about it, frankly, when you talk about it, you're like, well, this is kind of not a great sign here. People are spending maybe more than they should be spending. Could you make sense of this for us, please?
Absolutely. I mean, retail sales, very importantly, right? 67 or 70% of U.S. GDP is consumer spending. And so the higher retail sales are usually a sign that consumers are out shopping and that it's a good thing. It's a good thing for the economy. The economy is growing. Now, here's the problem, right? The big problem is the Fed's been trying to cool an economy that was overheated. And the more we go out and spend, the more businesses have to go out and produce stuff. They have to keep up with our spending. Otherwise, if they're not able to keep up with our spending, they're basically, they're going to try. And what they're going to do is they're going to try to hire more workers to build more widgets. And if they can't find the workers to build those widgets, wages grow, right? So their wage bills grow. And when their wage bills increase, well, they pass on some of that to consumers in the form of higher prices. And so then you end up with higher inflation. And so that's kind of how things are connected. And so when I see a number like that, I say, okay, well, that's good. It means consumers are still capable of going out and spending. And, it's a healthy economy, a growing economy. At the same time, I want to make sure that that workers are more productive to produce all those widgets that we're ordering and trying to get our hands on. Because if workers are not more productive to produce all of those widgets, we'll end up with higher wage growth, and higher wage growth will show up in higher consumer prices. And so a lot of people have been worried about that, right? So you see people in different circles starting to question whether the U.S. economy is re-accelerating, right, as consumer purchasing power improves, right? Because inflation has come down a little bit. Consumers have a little bit of room. And the question is how much room, right? You're looking at credit card balances. Credit card balances are increasing. Savings are dwindling. And so how much room really, right, is the big question. And, should we worry about this number as suggestive that the economy is potentially reheating and that inflation could be resurging? I think things like that worry the Fed. And that's why, they are not quite, they're still talking about being data dependent and potentially having more rate hikes in the pipeline.
And that should be concerning to all of us. I'll tell you, let's bring it to a close there. I do appreciate the insights. We got some ground to cover today. We're going to come back with a couple more episodes that we're going to record today, and we'll be releasing them soon. For Orphe Divounguy, this has been Chris Krug. Subscribe to Everyday Economics at americastalking.com.